Part of the fun of Deephaven is how quickly and easy it is to share applications with each other. One of the things that we do is we write a lot of examples that users can then take and copy, modify, or just make a new one from scratch. It's very easy to take an application and share it with others. And in this video, I'm going to show you how. First, when you go to the Deephaven examples repository, you'll see a whole bunch of examples that are ready for you to just clone and make your own, or use as is for your own project. We have a lot of things to get you started. Now, when you clone some of these repos, you'll load them and you'll see exactly what is already written. For example, here is what it looks like when you open our Wordle solver for the first time. You have all of the data ready to load and run. Or here is an example of one of our Kafka feeds, where we have Kafka feeds coming in from financial data and the queries are ready to go. Now, in this video, you'll see how to make it your own. One of my recommendations is to go to that examples repository and you'll see what we call app mode init Python. This is the initialization for app mode in Python. We also have a Groovy version if you need it. When you click on that, you'll see all of the starter files that you need. What we do is we have a start script, which is what you're going to use to start your application. If you click on that, you'll see that in this case, we only have two commands. One of them is to extend our server container, and the other one is to do a Docker compose up. So this is the basics you need to get your own applications running. Now, the Docker file for this, you'll see, is that server, and all we're doing is copying this application directory, which contains the scripts that we're going to have to launch the applications. You could extend the other servers too for layouts and things like that. Okay, so now, once we have edited the start script, that makes the Docker file extend the container, and so we want to see what is in this application directory. So we can see that there's two files here. One is a .app file, and all of this is a scripting file that tells you what files to run. You can also have this be a static or even a dynamic application. We have it set for Python, but you can also start with Groovy even though you're in a Python session or vice versa. Now, this goes through all of the files here in numerical order, and in this case, it's just init.py. So upon loading your server container, it's going to execute this script. In this case, init.py is a pretty basic script that is our hello world. And so what this does is it defines a function. In this case, it just prints hello world. It has two tables that are pretty basic, and then it executes that function so it's inside the panels tab for you to use. Now, if you want to make it even simpler, you can have this be exactly what your Deephaven query is, and that will load it into the panels tab as long as you define them as global variables. Okay. So whenever you run your start script, it's going to execute your Docker file, which then runs your Python script. Now, if you're running your test and you don't want it to run the script, all you have to do is set enable to false, and it will skip all of the files in that script. Okay, that's a quick how to run application mode in Deephaven. Hopefully this helps. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us on Slack. Till next time.